Hello, welcome to Teslas in Canada. This is David, and we're going to talk about winter range. Is it actually terrible like you've heard on the news, or is it pretty good? First, we're going to go and just wash off the car because it's full of salt and grime, and then we'll let you guys know what kind of range I'm getting. So winter range. The age-old question. I'm sure you've seen tons and tons of articles slamming Tesla and EVs about range, chargers, them not working in the winter, in the snow and the cold. We've had some cold snaps here in Ontario. There's been cold snaps in Alberta, Chicago, basically in a lot of places that are further north than, say, Florida. How is the winter range? So the winter range on my Model Y rear-wheel drive, in my experience, has been ranging around 250 kilometers, which is about a 30% cut from the 394 kilometers that the EPA rated range is. So that's been my experience so far with it. I do charge at home and I preheat before I leave. So preheating it does take away some battery unless I'm plugged in. If I'm not plugged in and I forget, like I did once, I left it preheating for about 30 minutes and I lost probably about 8% that day before I even left. So I left home at like 92%. So that does not help the range at all. If you can charge at home and plug in, that is the best case scenario for an EV owner. And that's why I have one. Now, being able to leave my house in the morning, every morning with 100% charge, not have to stop at a gas station, that is the major benefit of an EV. At least for me, I do quite a bit of driving. Lately, I've been driving over 100 kilometers, 150 kilometers a day. So I've been able to see that range drop, experience that, especially when it's minus 15, minus 20, things like that, getting a good feel for it. One thing also to point out is I have not been parking it in the garage. I've been purposely parking it outside in the driveway in the cold to see how that affects the range and all of that. I will say if you commute even 50 kilometers, 80 kilometers a day, like you have no worry, no issues with getting an EV, even if you can't charge at home, although it will be more inconvenient because you will have to stop at a supercharger, utilize free charging somewhere, plug in at work, whatever the case may be. It may be a little more inconvenient, and personally, I don't know if I could do that. I chose an EV because I have the capability of charging at home and I like the convenience factor of not having to stop and go to the gas station on my daily routine. I am doing something a little unconventional and I'm going to take the Model Y rear-wheel drive, which has the lowest range, and driving it all the way down to Florida. Now my hotel is booked and all of that is set and ready to go. So I'm committed. I'm going to be taking the Model Y rear-wheel drive and driving it from here in Canada at the end of March and driving all the way down to Florida. And we're going to see how it does with the range there. I'm driving 2,150 kilometers. Just take that 400 kilometer about range and divide that up. It's going to be quite a few stops, quite a few charging stops. Of course, probably a hotel night stay or sleep in the car, we'll see. But it's going to be quite the experience driving from here up in Canada, in the Toronto area, all the way down to Sarasota, Florida. And yeah, I'm going to be making some content along the route, how that experience goes, how much it costs to charge. Is it worth taking your EV from here all the way there? Should you get a gas vehicle? Should you fly there instead? What are the pros and cons? Why am I doing it? Stay tuned to the channel. There's going to be lots of videos on that, but I did want to just make this video, come out and say EVs in the winter are actually great. I have no issues with them. Preheat the car, go out, don't even have to take the snow off because melted the snow off. Now I do wipe some of the snow off the headlights and the hood, things like that, where the snow doesn't melt with the preheat. Makes it more convenient. Get in, it's warmed up, it's heated up. I can go fully charged battery, come back, plug it in, and I might be around 50% or so if I've driven over 100 kilometers that day, 150 kilometers or so. So convenience wise, can't beat it. Still love my Tesla, even though some people are saying they're trading them in, getting rid of them. The winters ruined it for them. Most of those people aren't set up with a charger at home, so I totally get it. If I was in the same situation, if I was living in a condo or something and I didn't have a place to charge every day and I had to travel 100, 200 kilometers a day, it would become inconvenient, that's for sure. Now, there was a subscriber of mine online off the grid that left a comment on my Florida video, which I had posted recently, which you can check out right here or here, one of the corners here. Check that video out after watching this video. They drive about 275 kilometers each day, ranging in the temps of minus 30 to minus 30 Celsius in Alberta, minus 39 to minus 30 Celsius in Alberta. They have been driving the Model Y rear wheel drive daily in that 270 kilometer of driving per day. They do say they do top up sometimes during the day as well, utilizing some free supercharging that they have. And so it's definitely doable to be doing these longer distances in the freezing cold temperatures, but you may have to stop and top up if you're driving closer to that 300 kilometer range, as the car is only rated for 394, and with the super cold temps like that, it reduces the range because the battery needs to be at a certain temperature in order to operate optimally. As well, when it's that cold, the regen braking, which regenerates power to the battery, is not able to be utilized at some temperatures, and as it heats up, then it's able to utilize it, but there's less regen generating energy back into the battery, so that accounts for some of that range loss. Anyways, I hope this video helped you. If you want to check out more videos on Teslas, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you're interested in that Florida tour, definitely subscribe. Let me know in the comments below if you think I'm going to make it or I'm going to hate it, and how long is it going to take me. Anyways, have an awesome day. My name is David with Teslas in Canada. Peace.